Hey y'all, it's Kelly Clarkson with Wayfair, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. Picture this. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app when you spot it. A brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Do you always feel like you're popping the clutch on your business? Maybe you take off on the line real fast, then you stall out. How do you stop doing that? Stay tuned to find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
You serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it up.
What is up? What is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to your ongoing dose of get in and stay in the zone learning. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you, well, that's infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur or one in the making. Either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. And that's why I'm here hitting you with yet another solo success episode coming to you straight from the Dark Horse HQ as we dive deep into success with actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up your game, your business game, your life game. Because as we already know, there are no shortcuts to your success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single day. Now, once again, before we kick this off, I know you're getting value from the little nuggets I'm able to drop you, as well as the amazing guests I'm lucky enough to be able to bring on this show. And if you are getting that value, please go on down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're there, go ahead and drop us a 5-star rating and leave us some kind words in the reviews. Ask a question, give some suggestions. Hey, stop doing this, start doing that, Tracy. I read every one of those reviews. And here's the thing, those subscribes, ratings, and reviews, they tell those podcast platforms that you are getting the value, that you are enjoying the show, and they lift us up a little bit in the rankings so that we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like you. So please take a moment and show the love. I definitely appreciate you. All right, so enough about that. So here's the question, right? You ever feel like you're always starting and stopping and restarting, right? Kickstarting your business. There's probably those days you probably wake up and you feel like that sloth on that cartoon, just going really slow. You have 87 things you want to get done and probably don't get one of them done. And then there are other days, right? You're sitting there, you wake up, you throw the covers off, you sit up, right? Your chest is puffed out. You feel like Superman. That cape is waving off in the back. You go into the kitchen and you're like coffee in hand and you're ready to slay the day. And you grab your laptop and you're ready to just make that keyboard smoke with your inspiration. And how about those days where you feel like you're just totally connected and in touch with the inner you, that creative side? Maybe you just want to go, I don't know, sit in a yoga position, with your journal in hand and write down all the ideas, maybe break out your crystals, light some candles, whatever it is that gets you on that high frequency level. But at the end of the day, you would really just love to be consistent in your motivation level, right? Yeah, I almost feel you nodding your head. We've all had that day, right? We've had that day where we wake up like, man, you hear that sound that we hear on some of the beginning of the movies. I think it's the THDX sound. Anyway. Here's the question. What gives? Why am I so pumped up one day and so down in the dumps the next day? And nothing is really different from between those 2 days. And trust me on this one, I get it. And I'm usually the high energy guy, the high motivation guy, the high creativity guy. I just have, but I've still found myself struggling with the starting and the stopping, the highs, the lows, the strategic days, the tactical days, the what the days, right? Those WTF days. And so you struggle with being able to maintain that steady flow of momentum to keep the biz rolling and keep customers going for quite some time, stopping here, starting there. You feel inconsistent. You feel like a sawtooth. And maybe even because of that, you can't build the momentum in your business, in your life that you wanted to, because you don't feel super productive consistently. It makes you question whether you're even truly capable of being an entrepreneur. Maybe you even wonder if you're failing because you're not like everyone else who seems to be inspired and driven and motivated 24/7/365, right? Well, let me check you here. And here's what happens is what I think happens is we see all our mentors and those folks that we look up to, maybe even friends that we're engaged in and peers, and you start feeling that doubt, right? And maybe that's part of that downward ride. You get up that morning, you're like sitting with your coffee, your eyes are glazed over, you're looking at that blank screen, and that little cursor is just blinking at you, almost laughing at you, it seems, right? Yeah, okay. But here's where what I think is really going on is that it isn't that your difficulty is being able to get in and stay in the zone. It's not that you can't stay laser focused. That's not the problem. I think the problem is being able to find and develop that one way, or those many ways, right? Have a few arrows in your quiver, a few tricks up your sleeve that will help get you motivated. And here's the thing about that. I think you need to accept that you might not be getting yourself motivated. Your triggers might not be like everyone else. You're going to have to accept the fact that you'll probably have to do things differently than other folks to get your creativity into full gear. You may even have to go against the very suggestions of the gurus, of your mentors. Yeah, you're going to have to get uncomfortable so that you can be comfortable showing up in some of the ways that your very own guides might swear against in order for you to develop those ideas. And once you show up as you, right, your creativity begin to flow. You'll be more productive. You'll be able to create those profitable results. See, here, I think at the end of the day, you want to be able to blow up that fear that if you're not doing things in a conventional way, then you're just not an entrepreneur. You're going to have to be willing to do things in unconventional ways, because trust me, it's very liberating. It will start nipping in the bud the very things that are nipping your creativity down. Now, I want to remind you back in episode, I believe it was 196, Upping Your Creative Flow, right? I shared with you a number of ideas. So go back and check that one out. And I think probably the one other one you might want to check it out is episode 175, where we're talking about elevate your business and your life with a single mindset shift, right? These little mindset shifts, like being willing to get into your creative zone in unconventional ways, is going to be liberating, right? So go check those two out. I think you'll find them very helpful. Because here's the deal. I want you to remember, creativity, it doesn't clock in and out. It's not an employee, right? It's not coming in here and it's punching a time clock. There's no set time for creativity to show up and raise its hand and say, okay, I'm ready to work. You're going to have to be ready to embrace that moment that you feel your creative juices begin to flow, and then take notes, write things down. You hear me say this all the time. When you get an idea, I usually close out all these episodes with the thought of, what inspiration and thoughts did you get? Whatever they were, write them down. So maybe you're not motivated to take that first action. At least you remember the idea, your creativity, when you heard it inspired you to think, so, oh, wow, there's a great idea. So let me write that down so that when your creative and motivational juices just kick into high gear, you can open your journal and go right to it and say, yeah, I'm going after that bad boy today. See, because the days that your creativity decides not to show up, you simply want to make sure that you're keeping yourself healthy and in a positive space, right? To find out maybe what's keeping it from showing up. There may be things going on. Are you stressed? Right? Are you working in a space of desperation because of relationship issues or financial issues, right? Maybe there are time constraints. Are you making time to focus on your health and your well-being, right? So physical and mental. These alone, trust me, my friend, these alone will be huge creative blocks. So you're going to want to certainly check them out. Just kind of take a moment and look around, how you're handling things, and maybe some of the things that are going on in your world, some of the stresses that are keeping your creative superhero at bay. I think the next thing you're going to want to do is sit down and create we want to call it a revenue plan, or a profit plan is even better, right? Revenues are one thing. Hey, I made $1 million. Yeah, but you had to pay out $900,000 in taxes and expenses. Well, you only kept profit of $100,000, which is, hey, there's a lot of folks out there who think that's amazing. But creating a profit plan in your business can help you in terms of clarity and focus and direction. Create a simple process that will always allow you to know where your efforts need to be spent in your business and your life, right? Don't get so focused on your business that now your life begins to suffer, right? And your health begins to suffer. We loop back to what we were just talking about a minute ago. And then you want to stop focusing on those non-income producing activities. Yeah, stop focusing on those and focus in on those income producing activities. I was listening to a class recently, and he was talking about you need to take the king's stance. And if you watch any of the movies where kings and medieval times are the focus, the king has a certain posture about things. Take that kind of a stance because you're the person in power. Stop creating custom offers for your clients unless they're super high value clients, right? There are those opportunities you want to do that, but not for every single one of them, right? This is just confusing them, and it makes it hard to do business with you. Say, and here's the other one. Someone says, well, what is your base offer? And you say, well, it's $9.97 a month. And, they ask for the details, and you give them the details, and they say, well, how about $6.97? And some people will say, well, you figure in your head, I'm still making a pretty good profit as a result of that. Sure, I'll go ahead and do that. No. Your price is $9.97. That's your price. Here's the thing. Those folks that will bring you down on your price, that will talk you down on your price, are usually going to be your high maintenance clients, the ones that will cause you all the headache, cause you all the stress, and keep your creativity from coming. You want to begin saying no to opportunities that don't complement who you are, what you do, that are going to pick away at everything that you have going on. And most of all, that aren't going to be conducive of where you want to take your business to. Where do you want to go? And that's another helpful piece about making this profit plan, is that you know where you want to go. And then as those opportunities arise that may distract you from where you want to go, you can say no. Right? You can say, that's not the direction I'm going. Profit planning helps you clarify what you are working towards so that you can keep working towards it as opposed to being pulled to the right, to the left. So get clear on what you're offering and who you're serving. And I think the last thing I'm going to leave you with here today is show up anyway. Even when you feel like you don't know where the heck to start or what the heck to work on, show up anyway, right? Refer to the past activities that you've worked on in your business. Ask yourself, what? Ask yourself, oh my God, I'm stumbling over my words here. What activities, big or small, have brought you to where you are today? What activities, big or small, that you haven't done are keeping you from getting to where you want to go? Take a look at your calendar. Look at what you've done over the past couple of weeks. Look over your to-do list. Browse through old notes, right? Yeah, you're listening to podcasts. Remember, I'm always telling you, write down the ideas so you can browse through your old notes. These will tickle your little mind and say, oh yeah, I forgot totally about that idea. Go through, hey, here's a good one. Go through some of your receipts, some of the things you've bought, right? Some of the products you've bought, the classes you've bought, the notes you took there. Those would tickle a whole new idea. Oh man, I totally forgot about this little class that I attended last year. I remember that was awesome. When you browse these things, you'll start tickling new ideas. Browse your social media platforms and ask, who haven't I responded to? And I'm not talking about just get there and start wasting your time thumb scrolling. Who haven't I responded to? Where is there an opportunity that I've missed? Sometimes here's what you're going to find, and I have found that some of those best moments, some of those best ideas are going to come to you when you didn't even feel like showing up in the first place, right? Just because you're going to go start cruising through. When you decide to stop believing that you're not in the mood, right? Maybe you don't feel like you're in your mood. You're just kind of checking things out, cruising through what you've done. Who haven't I responded to, right? Feeling like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get anything. Now, trust me, you can be productive, totally creative. But here's the thing. I find that when I'm not feeling productive or creative and I sit still, right, nothing happens. But when I start reviewing my calendar, doing some of these things I just mentioned, reviewing my calendar, cruising through my Facebook messages. Ooh, who haven't I responded to? Or who have I responded but haven't heard back from? Checking, some notes in a journal, cruising through old classes that I've attended, old courses that I've taken. You know what that is? That's motion, right? And that motion creates energy, and that energy creates creativity, and that creativity will create productivity. So you want to start practicing being in motion and practicing new habits consistently and training your mindset. This, my friend, can make all the difference in the way you show up for your business. Now get out there and build your business in alignment with who you are, even if that means you might have to buck a couple of steps that your mentor has told you, because he's not you or she's not you. You are you. You say, you know what? I think I need to try that anyway because it just feels right to me. All right. And we're going to pick up on this a bit more on Friday when I hit you with questions to ask yourself to find your passion in life and in business. Now, I know you want to keep getting all these great solo episodes. Make sure you keep getting all the amazing interview episodes I'm able to bring you. So you make sure, like I said before, you go on down there, hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star rating, leave us some kind words in the review, ask a question, make some comments. I read every single one of them. And remember, these subscribes, ratings, reviews, they tell those podcast platforms out there that you're liking it. You're like, okay, this guy's kind of cool, right? And they lift us up a little bit in the rankings so that we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like yourself. So please take a moment, show the love, and help spread the word. So, and with that, you get out there, you run your race, you get your results, and let me hear about them. Until tomorrow, or until Friday actually, think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.